Hello and welcome back to the ArcSimRapMarket.com National Series. Today we're here in Montreal, Canada for our first road course of the season. So these drivers ready to tackle on this 2.71 mile 13 turn racetrack, and they're going to be turning left and right today. So we got about 2 minutes left in practice. Actually, a little bit less than that. Right now, Dylan Bam tops the charts. And then we'll head into qualifying. Qualifying is going to be 2 laps around this pretty long racetrack. I think it's our longest track we've been at so far this season. I could be wrong. I'm trying to remember how long Daytona was. I think Daytona was 2.6. But yeah, welcome back to the National Series. This is race number 5, and we'll go over a few things during qualifying, because qualifying is going to take a pretty long time. It's a 37 lap event, by the way. We've got about 30 seconds left in practice. There you see your top drivers: Dylan Bam, Jonathan Jergensmeyer, Jared Wilson, Zach Saunders, and Traber Burns. That looks like nothing else is really going to change. Got about 24 entries, which is actually really good for a road course. You usually don't see many drivers want to compete on these kinds of racetracks, but we got a good standout tonight. Practice is over. We'll be heading into qualifying. And we'll ride on board. We'll ride on board with how about the league owner himself, AJ Knickel. This is a home race for him. He's one of 2 Canadians in this race, actually. Hunter Young being the other one. Sorry if there's any other driver from Canada. I'm just looking at my little leaderboard over here, and it shows what nationality you're from, so I only see 2 Canada flags. But we're right on board with AJ Knickel for a lap here. As you know, this track very famous in other motorsports like F1, and they actually did come here in NASCAR many years ago, but kind of stopped towards the early 2010s, I believe. And they really haven't been back here in a very long time. But of course, with iRacing, we can make anything happen. So that's one thing you're going to want to watch out for. A few things you want to watch out for is, as you saw through those 2 corners right there, you saw those turtles, the white little bumps. You got to be careful with those. You got to be careful for the gravel traps, just in case you overshoot the corners. Don't ask me what any part of this racetrack is. I don't know the names for certain corners. But you see this long straightaway, and then it heads into a little right-hander to left-hander. There's pit entrance right there. Right on that sausage curve. And AJ Knickel's going to come to start his first lap. And very sideways entering the first corner, but he holds on to it. You see AJ just slipping and sliding through this whole course. So far, so good. Really, the only mess up so far was in turn 1. And he's coming into this little loop here before entering that big straightaway. Very slow through this corner. So, one driver has set a lap so far, that's Zach Saunders. Dylan Bam now to the top, as AJ Knickel's going to come through the final 2 corners. And he will pass the start-finish line to complete his first lap. And he goes 4th fastest, right behind Jonathan Juergensmeyer. So it looks like Dylan Bam only did 1 lap. I think I read it was 2 laps long. As I'm getting many drivers going off the racetrack on their qualifying laps, like I believe Donald was one of them. There's Gabe Gazzola, who's on his first lap. You'll probably see more drivers opt to not qualify than the drivers who actually do. We actually have a lot of drivers out on the racetrack. There's Zach Saunders, who's coming to complete his 2nd lap. Of course, you see the DRS signs. We do not have DRS in these cars. That's for the Formula 1 drivers. Very nice paint scheme on the 17, I like it. As he's coming to complete his 2nd lap. And it's not going to be faster than Dylan Bam, so he sits 2nd right now. 11 drivers have qualified, but we still have a lot of drivers out on the racetrack. Go all the way back here, see this bright red Lowe's 48, that's last week's winner, Micah Wallace. Looking to try to go back-to-back here, but we'll see how his road course skills are. I'll tell you what, judging by practice and qualifying that 2 car of Dylan Bam, he looks pretty quick. So Micah coming down the straightaway. See him hop over those curves and almost lose it off the corner. I think he might have. And yep, into the tire barrier he goes. But he could reset and still do 1 lap here because that was his first lap. You just gotta be careful on those curves. We'll go back and take a look. We got time here. And you see he just enters it normally, but he gets on that sausage curve or that turtle, and around he goes. And doesn't take much to spin these race cars out, especially at a road course. Oop, I think I pressed the wrong buttons. My bad. We only got 3 drivers out on the racetrack. Ty Higginbotham, Luke Allen, and Duncan Fa. Higginbotham has set 1 lap so far. This is his 2nd lap. We'll see if he can... make anything happen here. As to get pole, you got to beat a 141.62. Luke Allen up to 14th. That was his first lap. Here comes Ty, and he's just going to come down pit road, so he's going to start, looks like 18th. Possibly 19th, depending on where Duncan Faw qualifies here. As Duncan Faw will be your last qualifier. As he enters the final two corners, decided not to hit any of those curves, or the bigger curves, and he will cross the line in 7th. So not a bad qualifying run for Duncan Faw, as he'll start top 10, but your pole is going to go to Dylan Bam in that number 2 machine. As I doubt anyone has clicked to ready to race, so we got to wait about 30 seconds here. So yeah, this race we'll see who's actually good at road courses and who's not. As Dylan Bam, he seems to be pretty good at these road courses, but you got to be careful for that first corner. The first corner on these restarts and the initial start is probably the scariest part. Got about 5 seconds here. And then qualifying should be over. There we go. It has finished. So Dylan Bam's going to get the pole with Zach Saunders in second. So we'll pull up the starting grid now. So on pole, we have Dylan Bam. Right beside him is Zach Saunders. Row number 2, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer with Gabriel Dehari. Row number 3, Traber Burns and Jared Wilson. Row number 4, Duncan Faw and AJ Knickel. And rounding out your top 10, Cameron Lopez and CD Mangrum. Just outside the top 10, Gabe Gazzola and Jimmy Cocker. Row number 7, Donald Stern and River Jones. Row number 8, Luke Allen and Andrew Sanford. Row number 9, Hunter Young and Jose Mercado. And rounding out your top 20, Ty Higginbotham with Brody Falliker. And there you see the rest of the field. Last week's winner, Micah Walls, back there in 22nd. So he's got to have a fun time making his way through the field if he can. And we got 24 cars this race, so no one else here. Is everyone getting on the grid? That Ford Mustang pace car will lead us around this racetrack. So Andrew Sanford and Hunter McDivitt still have not gotten to the grid. They got about 10 seconds left. There's one of them. There's Andrew. Hunter McDivitt is not on the grid yet. So it looks like he's going to be starting from pit lane. As they are off. So it looks like we're going to be starting pretty quickly here. There's pit road right there, so the pace car is going to go down pretty quickly. You got to be careful on this curve. So the pace car coming down pit road. It's going to be Dylan Bam with Zach Saunders on the front row here at Montreal. As they're actually going to grid up. Are they going to grid up? Maybe not. No, they're not. I'm stupid. Green flag in the air here at Montreal. Maybe. I am confused. Looks like they threw another. Looks like they threw a caution. I don't think. I think they were maybe surprised that the pace car was right there. So yeah, they threw a mandatory caution. While they go around this track, I'll be right back. Okay, yeah, we should be going green this time by now. I think everyone was just a little bit surprised that the pace car started on the straightaway before the final two corners. So I think they just threw in mandatory caution. But here we go. Should be for real this time. I don't know if this race is going to be starting on lap number 2 now or not. So here comes the pace car straight into pit road. This time it looks like they're actually going to start as they enter the restart zone. Wait for it. And green flags out here at Montreal. So it looks like Zach Saunders is pulling away with the race lead right now. Dylan Bam just right behind him. As entering the 2 final corners. He's got a nice lead over Dylan Bam right now. And Bam has a pretty big lead over that 36 of Gabriel Dahari. So you see big time air over those curves. As Dylan Bam has closed in a lot on the back bumper of Zach Saunders. And we had a crash in the back with Ty Higginbotham. Ty Higginbotham, Jose Marcado, and Hunter Young. Hunter Young coming down pit road. Go back and take a look at that. That final corner is pretty heavy. I started with Hunter Young. Big braking zone here. It looks like he just loses it under braking, hits the wall, and spins out. Oh, there's Francis Hamilton into him as well, and just nowhere for the 41. And 97 to go. So Hunter Young fixes some damage. Francis Hamilton has wrecked again. So I'm not really sure how cautions are going to work here, as Jared Wilson has gone around with Traber Burns, as they're both going to go fall down the pack. This is going to be common occurrence with just these spins. As I said Dylan Bam crashed, but he might have just went off circuit a little bit. Sometimes it glitches. As Jared's still trying to gather it up. Gabriel Dahari too, he's back here. As you see that 3, he's got some really heated tires, so he's slipping and sliding everywhere. Oh, Gabriel Dahari into the side of Luke Allen and now into the wall. I'm not sure what happened there. He got loose in that little curve there. As his engine is blown, so we'll go back and take... We'll go all the way back. See what happened to Traber Burns and Jared Wilson. This looks like it might have been from Traber Burns first. Yeah, oh, he got heavy into the braking zone, and that's what happened to Gabriel Dahari, and there's Jared making contact there. So Traber Burns just sent it in a little too hard, and right into Gabriel Dahari. And fast forward a little bit more. That's why he was also... My bad. That's why he was also slipping and sliding everywhere. And then right here, this little curve for coming on the long straightaway. And he just loses it. Right underneath Luke Allen. And that's going to end his race. Donald Stern has gone around, so has Ty Higginbotham. Or maybe Ty just might have went off the racetrack a little bit. But back up front, Zach Saunders still leading. Hunter McDivitt did not end up starting this race, so he'll be credited 24th. As Jose went off the racetrack a little bit back here. So 4 laps in, and we've already seen a whole bunch of chaos. That's just typical for these road courses, as Donald Stern. See, that's a glitch spot right there. If you go too wide in that corner, it says you crash, but at least on the iRacing live timing thing I'm using. But obviously Donald Stern did not crash. These two have pretty much pulled away from the rest of the pack. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer all by himself, and then back here AJ Knickel and Cameron Lopez about to go at it. As Hunter Young is back out on the racetrack a few laps down. So even though Cameron Lopez's season has not gone the way he's wanted, and although he doesn't have much luck on this game, he is pretty talented on other games. He is the reigning Euro F1 champion in the whole ARC community. I'm totally just saying that off the knowledge of my own brain. He definitely didn't tell me in a DM to say that. Yeah, he is good on other games. He's just, it's a bit of a struggle here on iRacing, but he's doing really well in 5th right now. So maybe he's found his strong point in the with these road courses. We're only 5 laps in, but we'll see. But yeah, he is the reigning Euro F1 champion. Just wanted to let you all know that. Jared Wilson's on pit road. Maybe fixes some damage. Or maybe he flat spotted his tire. So it looks like he may be just taking tires. Coming to lap number 6. As I'm not really sure how long the pit road thingies are going to be here, as we have a few cars off the racetrack. I think the teammates, at least I think they're teammates. Andrew Zapfi and Francis Hamilton. They both ran the same scheme a few races ago, as we have a crash somewhere. Maybe not. It was just a little loop glitch. It said Traber Burns crashed, but that's obviously a lie. A car that did crash, though, is Ty Higginbotham. He's around. And I think AJ Knickel might have went off racetrack, too. Maybe not. Yeah, Ty Higginbotham did go around. But he's regrouped. As someone just went full throttle into the wall. Oh, there's a tire on the racetrack. Donald Stern had to avoid it. I think it was Francis Hamilton. And yep, he took out Andrew Zappi. Wow, that I just panned over the Donald and there's a tire right in his face. We'll go watch what happened here. As we had a major incident. Oh my goodness. Major incident entering this corner. Here they come. Looks like the brakes let go. Both cars upside down. And let's right on board with Donald Stern. You see, he's got to avoid a tire here, I believe. Oh my goodness, it came rolling right after him. He was also spinning under braking, but wow. So very, very interesting. Very interesting, double brake failure there. Maybe they need to build their cars a little bit better, that team. So we got a few drivers going off the racetrack. Jose went around. I think Hunter Young went off as well. Oh, Hunter Young is gone. We'll go see what happened to him. Right behind Donald Stern. He's already a few laps down. And it looks like he's just going to get loose. Gets on the gas a bit too hard and hits the wall. And that's going to end his day. So Dylan Bam still all over the back bumper of Zach Saunders. As Jared Wilson has also DNF'd. Jose saying he crashed again. Yep, there he is. It's just not been a good race for this 41. As I don't know if he might just be parked there contemplating life. And as he's going to enter pits. Here comes Dylan Bam for the race lead underneath Zach Saunders, and he will take it away. So first lead change, or second lead change tonight, as Dylan Bam will take it back. After starting on pole. Michael Walls went off track back here last week's winner. Gonna fall back a few positions. So yeah, these two have checked out from the rest of the field, and then you got Jurg, who's just on an island all by himself. And back here you got AJ, as is saying Gabe Gazzolo crashed. He might have, as he's very slow off that corner. Here comes Trevor Burns, as he'll fall back to 10th. But yeah, Jurg's all by himself. Then you have Cameron and AJ right here. Duncan Faw not too far behind. Jimmy Cocker, he's got, who's that? That's Rivers Jones. Rivers Jones, Trevor Burns, and Gabe Gazzolo on his, close to him. As I thought Gabe Gazzolo was going around there. But here we go, back up front. Zach Saunders still hanging tight behind this Supra. It looks like it's going to come down to between these two. I'm not really sure how cautions are going to work today. As Ty Higginbotham says he's crashed. Yep, he's gone around in the first corner, it looks like. As him and Donald Stern are pretty close to being lapped here. They're both a minute behind. Brody Falliger went off the racetrack. Your Bristol winner. Not really having the best of time right now. As up here with Gabe Gazzolo, they're having a battle. Rivers Jones, Trevor Burns, and Gabe. All battling for that 8th spot. A side-by-side entering this corner. That's going to be interesting. None of them giving up. And it looks like it's going to be Burns sending it in a bit harder. And he will take that, or he will hold that position. No, he will actually take it. As Jimmy Cocker messes up in front of them. And they're all three going to pass him. Easy position on that 31. As Zach Saunders has crashed. Your race leader. Or your second place driver. Looks like he might have overshot the corner a little bit. That's exactly what happened. Good thing didn't tear up his race car. There he is, he's going to overshoot this corner. Good thing didn't hit Dylan Bam either. But he's going to take that little access road. Now he loses third or second to Jurg as well. And now Dylan Bam is all by himself out front. As Donald Stern crashed again. Actually, I don't know if Donald crashed. He might have just did that little thing there. So I know the fuel run, I don't know how many laps it is. I know you get 70% capacity. But we're coming on to lap number 10, so we might see some pit stops soon. Andrew Sanford said he went off the racetrack. Jurg is slowly closing in. He was about 8 seconds behind, now he's 6.3. As the closest two drivers in this top 10 is probably Rivers Jones and Gabe Gazzolo. As Trevor Burns has pulled away from them. Right now, Dylan Bam. It's been an up and down season for this number 2 team. The only thing I can really remember from him is his big crash at Fontana. I think he was close to winning at Daytona, but got into a last lap wreck. He's finished top 10 a few times as AJ Knickel went off the racetrack. That's allowed Cameron Lopez to close in a little bit. You're a Euro F1 champion, by the way. See, AJ just went wide there, and it said he crashed on the leaderboard thing I have. Obviously, he did not. So that's why it throws me off sometimes. Jared closed in about half a second that lap. This double zero looking pretty quick. Was very fast last week at a Gateway, but unfortunately had a few bad pit stops and got stuck in traffic. Ultimately finished third, though, I believe. So he still got his interview. He's having another nice strong run here. Of course, he got the pull at Fontana, and he was doing pretty good at Daytona until a early wreck took him out of that race. Actually, now that I think of it, I think Dylan Bam might have finished top 3 at Daytona, because I remember interviewing him either at Daytona or Fontana. It was not Fontana, never mind. I forgot he hit the pit road barrels at Fontana. But I know I've interviewed him once this season, so. It was not fun. It had to have been Bristol, because Fontana, it was, no, it had to have been Daytona. But he's leading away here, coming on to lap number 12. He's got a nice little 5.5, 6 second lead over Jurg. As these three are still kind of going at it. Gabe Gazilla is still following Rivers Jones, but they're slowly catching Traver Burns. And CD Mangrum, he's found his way into this top 10. Micah Walls, your biggest mover so far. Right now, 11 spots gained. We saw him wrecked earlier. Currently sitting in P11, last week's winner. Up on those sausage curves. I think Brody Falliger might have tapped the barrier back there, but no harm, no foul. As out of our 24 that has started. Actually, I'm seeing something. Duncan Faw. It looks like he might have DNF'd. Go back and try to see what happened to him, because he was running top 10. Oh, he lagged out. That's very unfortunate for the 76 machine. As he was running top 10. I was wondering how CD got up there in the top 10. Cameron Lopez went off the racetrack a little bit, so that allowed AJ to pull away. So you see Andrew Sanford testing out his lawnmower business, cutting some grass back there. So we might have some lap cars in the play. That's the 88 of Donald Stern they're closing into, who was apparently just crashed. So he'll lap the 88 of Donald Stern. So 25 laps to go. This is going to be a long 25 laps, though, and we still got pit stops coming up soon. We might have, I think we're going to have 2 pit stops if this goes green all the way. Zach Saunders, he's slowly closing in on Jurg. Still has a fast race car, which is going to be hard catching back up to that, too. So Zach all over the back bumper. Duncan, you told me to look in Discord, and I don't know which Discord because still Dylan Bam out front. Leading away here, Jerk still about 5.5 seconds back, but he's got Zach Saunders all over his back bumper. So we might see a battle for a second here. Heat up as Donald Stern is going to go around behind them. Pretty sure this is one of his first road course races, and it's not going the best. As Duncan Fall is back out on the racetrack, I don't know how many laps down he is. It'll update in just a second. Of course, he probably won't get those laps back, though. And Zach Saunders still all over the back bumper of Jurg. They're still keeping about a 5.5 second lead. As Donald Stern has jumped to the pits. Duncan falls 5 laps down. As Zach has a nice run here. Here he comes. And he's just going to pass Jurg with ease. I think Jurg might have given him the position there. So now he's going to try to reel back in that number 2. As Trevor Burns went off the racetrack, that allowed Gabe Gazzola to get around him. We might have a battle for this top 10 soon. As Michael Wallace is closing in on CD Mangrum. And he's going to dive it in from way back. To the inside he goes, and he's going to get that position. So into the top 10, Michael Wallace goes. Of course, 2 past winners this season. Mangrum winning at Daytona, and then Michael winning last week. And we know how aggressive that 48 is. And you see that he just made a pretty big dive bomb on the number 9. Into that chicane there. I don't know if you can call that a chicane. Oh, and CD Mangrum's going to go around. He saves it somehow. Oh, but he hits Luke Allen, and Allen into the wall. Doesn't look like much damage for this 7, as he's just trying to regroup after that. I think the 9 might have lost his front bumper. Yes, he has after that contact. And yeah, his wheel on the left side, his left front is not looking too good, so he's going to have to limp it around this whole racetrack. So he'll have to probably pit and either go home or repair that damage, or he could stay out there and just suffer for the rest of this race. It's up to him. Here, we actually have a tire camera. Hold on, if I could find it. There it is. You can't really tell from this angle, but shoot, I forgot what it's called. The camber, yeah, the camber is a bit off on that. He's braking way back here. He's coming down pit road this time. As Donald Stern's back out on the racetrack. That stupid beeping noise you hear when cars enter pit road. So Zach Saunders has closed into about 4.5 seconds. Slowly reeling in this number 2. I said Andrew can't... Why can't I not find his name? There he is, Sanford. He went around. And we have a driver that's out here who wrecked on the first or second lap. Gabriel Dehari back out here. New motor in that thing. So he's going to try to get as many positions as he can. Brody Falliger went off the racetrack. Dehari's 12 laps down, so he can still pass everyone who's DNF'd. As Zonders is closing in, so is Jurg. So we might see a 3-car battle for the race as Saunders testing out his lawnmower again. That's not Saunders, that's Sanford, my bad. Donald Stern just going to let him by. The track's covered behind a cloud now, so that's going to, of course, cool it down a little bit. As back here, Gabe Gazzola and Traver Burns, they're battling it out for that 7th spot. And it seems like these two have just been battling all day. As here comes Traver Burns back underneath. Very sideways, and he's going to go around. Ooh, Jimmy Cocker almost hit him, but he held on to it. Micah's going to get a free spot. Cocker was very sideways, almost right into the side of that O2. And now Micah Wall's all over his back bumper. So you got a Virginia Tech fan and an LSU fan battling it out here. Don't know what their history is in sports, but something tells me LSU is on top. Right now, Jimmy Cocker holding off Micah Walls. Oh, and Micah's gonna spin! Entering the corner. Trevor Burns gets on the brake. And I don't know if this is gonna count as corner cutting or not, but he might have to give up some time. It looks like Virginia Tech will come on top that time by. As we got pit stops, it looks like AJ Knickel and Cameron Lopez down pit road. CD Mangrum in front of them, who's coming out of pit road. So our first pit stops of the night, and they went about 17 laps. So yeah, it looks like we'll have maybe one pit stop remaining for these two at least. We'll see about everyone else if they can fuel save. So it looks like it's just them two out of the leaders coming in. Everyone else staying out. So far a caution-free race, but we've had many different incidents out on the racetrack. So how about we'll take a look at the fastest time tonight. Let's see, 1:42. Looks like it's gonna go to Zach Saunders with a 1:42.03. Him and Dylan Bam, the only ones to run a 1:42, as Bam's going to stay out another lap. But Zach Saunders, he comes down pit road, so as Jurg. As I don't really want to pin over to him. But Donald Stern has crashed again, and this time his motor has blown. As Cameron Lopez said, he went off the racetrack, so that's going to ruin him sometime. There's Brody Falliger, who's messed up the corner. He's on those older tires. AJ Knickel and Cameron Lopez, of course, they both pitted. Rivers Jones also came in. Gabe Gazzola coming in. Jimmy Cocker coming in. Traver Burns coming in. Michael Walls coming in. And maybe this might be a little bit frightening for Dylan Bam. We'll see if he has enough fuel to coast around and come down pit road. Of course, AJ being the first one to pit. Oh, really big over that sausage curve, but he holds on to it. There's Lopez, too. They were the first two that pitted, and they're going to get all those positions. Of course, Gabriel Dehari, a few laps down, just trying to make as many spots as he can. As AJ Knickel's off the racetrack in front of them, but he holds on to it. Trying to get used to those new tires. So I'm not really sure how the playoffs work. I'll have to figure that out after this race. But Gabriel Dehari does have a win, so if it's win and lock in, he should be fine this race. And he's also... He didn't really do the best at Bristol. I think he did okay last week. Oh yeah, he finished second last week, so he should be good in points right now to be having a race like this. I'll tell you what, AJ Knickel, he's kind of messing up. That's allowing Cameron Lopez to catch up, as Dylan Bam's going to come down pit road right behind a blown motor Donald Stern. As Cameron Lopez got around AJ Knickel. As Jurg and Zach Saunders were the only two that get out in front of Cameron and AJ. Probably Dylan Bam too, but Jurg did get around Zach. As Zach very sideways entering that corner. Where is Dylan Bam at? He's coming out of pit road now. Jurg's got to go around two corners, and this undercut might work. Maybe not. Dylan Bam's still going to hold on to it, but he only has a 2-second lead. He is going to have the best fuel, though, and he went the furthest, so I think he's going to be able to make it all the way. I think most of these drivers can now. The only ones that are really going to be pushing it now is AJ Knickel and Cameron Lopez. There's Duncan Faw, who's a few laps down. But Jurg only a second back from Dylan Bam. So yeah, a little undercut there for that 0-0. But of course, Bam's going to have about 1 lap fresher tires. So Cameron Lopez went off track a little bit, so that's allowed AJ Knickel to catch back up. Of course, Gabriel Dehari in the mix of this battle. He was fast earlier and then got into that wreck, as here comes AJ Knickel down low. He makes the pass. Dehari's going to let both of them by, maybe? Oh, they're making contact. 3 wide. Still 3 wide. Dehari probably going to have to back out here. Lopez and AJ going to battle it out, as Gabe Gazzola has crashed into the loop. As Dehari, he knows he's probably quicker than these two. He was running top 5 before he wrecked. It's just frustrating for that 36, who is 12 laps down, I believe. Here comes AJ Knickel underneath Cameron Lopez. He's going to get around him. There's Ty Higginbotham coming out of pit road. So AJ Knickel back up into 4th. He's back here, Traber Burns and Michael Wallace, they're going at it for that 10th spot, or 9th spot. CD Mangrum off the racetrack in front of them. It looks like Micah's going to hold that position. My leaderboard is a little bit glitched, saying Dylan Bam is still on pit road, but obviously he is not. It's Brody Falliger went off the racetrack again. And I think AJ Knickel might have went off the racetrack too, as Cameron Lopez gets back around him. They keep switching positions. Wow, Gabriel Dehari almost just destroyed the 5. They keep switching positions. That's going to allow Rivers Jones to catch up to both of them. Back here you have Jimmy Cocker and Gabe Gazzola. Looks like they're going to be battling it out. If Gabe can catch up to him. So Dylan Bam has about a 2-second lead over Jonathan Jurgensmeyer now. We know he's probably most likely good on fuel. And definitely the dominant car today as he's pulling away from Zach Saunders. Zach could be taking care of his equipment till the very end. So we'll probably have a battle between these two for the rest of this race. Two teammates, two Team 44R drivers as AJ goes off the racetrack a little bit. And Team 44R are having a good day right now, leading this race. 1 in 4th, 1 in 5th. I don't know the rest of that team. I'm just looking at the Team 44R logo on their hoods. But they might have more. As Jimmy Cocker has crashed and it's made Gabe Gazzola go off the racetrack. As Cocker has lost his back bumper. I don't know if he was hit by Gabe. It doesn't look like Gabe has front end damage. We'll go back and see though. I think Jimmy might have just lost it. That's exactly what happened. So just into a heavy braking zone, and he's just going to lose it under braking. And Gabe had to avoid him, almost slid into him, and did make contact with his back bumper, but I think it was netcode. Unfortunately, it took the 31's back bumper off. So that's going to definitely affect him driving-wise, and he's going to have a bit of trouble for the rest of this race. So now Draper Burns has closed into the back bumper of Jimmy Cocker. Out of our 24 that started, we have 13 on the lead lap. And it looks like only 6 of them have DNF'd because Gabriel Dehari's out of this race. Alright, is back in this race. So we might see a 3-car battle here for this 8th spot. Got a damaged Jimmy Cocker. Right behind him, Draper Burns. And Michael Wall's not too far behind. As Burns has a nice run on the 31, here he comes. And he will easily pass Jimmy Cocker there. As Micah sends it in all over the back bumper of that or the used to be back bumper of the 31. I don't know what happened to Zach Saunders, but I don't know if he's saving fuel or what, but he's almost 10 seconds behind that too, and he was battling with him earlier. CD Mangrum has crashed. Actually, I think he just went wide in that corner. I think that's turn 11. This is a 13-turn racetrack. This should be coming up to 12 and then 13. But I don't know if that corner back there counts as 2. Either way, it's still turn 11. Trevor Burns closing in on Gabe Gazzola. Don't know if that net code with the 31 is affecting that 18. Michael with a big center underneath Jimmy Cocker. Cocker's going to hold that position. Here comes Traber Burns trying to get underneath Gabe Gazzola. Who's going to outbreak who here? Looks like Gabe's going to hold position for now, as Michael Wall's got around Jimmy Cocker for that 9th spot. Like I said, this 31's going to be hurting for the rest of the race. Duncan Faw has crashed, it says. I think he just went wide in turn 11 because he's right in front of these guys. AJ Knickel went off the racetrack. He's now about 2 seconds behind that 5. Trevor Burns all over the curve. Trying to look for a way around Gabe Gazzola right now. Before Michael Wallace closes in and tries to pass both of them. Gabriel Dehari went off the racetrack. Micah very sideways coming off the corner. As Burns had a run there as Gabe got loose under braking, but Gazzola's still holding it. Remember last time these two were side by side, it made that 0-2 go around. So Trevor Burns doesn't want a repeat of what happened. As here it goes, another nice run on Gabe, but Gabe's going to hold position. Duncan Fall lap car in the way. As Gabe's still holding position, Luke Allen went off the racetrack behind them. They both get around Duncan Faw. Trevor Burns has a run. He's going to set it into turn number 11. Trying to take that position away. Around the inside, and it looks like he will. Maybe not. Gabe Gazzola still battling. Sliding to his outside. So they're going to be side by side entering turn 12. Side draft. Gabe trying to side draft Trevor Burns, but I think Burns might be clear. Yes, he is. So Trevor Burns takes position. Gabe all over his back bumper, though. So I think Cameron Lopez went off the racetrack because he's back with AJ. Donald Stern back out on the racetrack. Just going to log some laps. He's actually going to be battling with Gabriel Dehari here soon. Hunter Young and Jose also left the pits. So we got a three-way battle for 7th right now. Looks like 5th might heat up soon as well, as Donald Stern crashed and has immediately jumped back to the pits. Trevor Burns, he got around Gabe Gazzola, but Gabe Gazzola not letting him go. We got 11 laps to go. These drivers are whole about half a track away from Dylan Bam, who's got almost a 10-second lead over Jurg now. As I say, AJ Knickel crashed, but I think he just went wide. Oh, and Gabe gets into Trevor Burns, almost turning him around. They all save it, though. That allowed Michael Wallace to close in. Micah trying to set up a move on the number 18. Decides to back off. As Jose went off the racetrack. So let's talk fuel. We'll see. Pit stop lap. They see AJ Knickel and Cameron Lopez. They both pitted the earliest, and Dylan Bam pitted the latest. I think Dylan Bam might be good. I think everyone who pitted on 18 might be good as well. So Michael Wallace fell back a few there. I don't know about AJ Knickel and Cameron Lopez if they're going to be able to make it on fuel. We'll see pit stop time. You see Jurix was just a little bit faster than Saunders, and that's how he got out in front of him. So his crew definitely, I think he definitely practiced getting off pit road because he was getting beat a lot at Gateway last week. But we got 10 laps to go. Gabe Gazzola and Trevor Burns will be battling it out for that 7th spot, as Rivers Jones gets around AJ Knuckle for that top 5 spot. So he's going to try to close in on Cameron here. They're both about 40 seconds behind the leader. But Dylan Bam, he just has a monster lead right now over Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, which they might have a battle for second here soon. Zach Saunders is slowly closing in. Center Young's off the racetrack right in front of these guys. Jose's also off the racetrack. So 87 is pretty banged up. Scrapes on all sides of that race car, except for maybe the back bumper. And of course the roof. As guess who's back out on the racetrack? Here he comes, Donald Stern. As Rivers Jones went off the racetrack, that allowed... I thought that allowed AJ to get around him, but I guess not. He's actually closing in on Cameron Lopez. You're a Euro F1 champion, by the way. Cameron Lopez. As Donald Stern has crashed again. Back to the pit, back to the pits he goes. Bit of slow lap traffic. That's Andrew Sanford. He's currently running 13th. Go back up here. Looks like Trevor Burns might have pulled away from Gabe Gazzola. Hunter Young is off the racetrack again. So yeah, we might see a battle for the 2nd spot heat up, and maybe for this 4th spot as well. Rivers Jones trying to close in on Cameron Lopez, 2 Monster Energy cars. Duncan falls back out on the racetrack. Not much going on as Rivers Jones kind of fell back from Cameron Lopez. AJ Knickel has just lost both of them. Michael Wall is closing in on Gabe Gazzola though. As I thought Rivers Jones crashed, but I guess not. Luke Allen's in this top 10 now. I wonder who's in the top 10 that wrecked. Oh, it might have been Jimmy Cocker falling out of it.
Ryan Bogan.
How did you get here?
I mean, we wrecked a few times. We had a good time.
All right, so we got some people in the booth now. Joining me is now Donald Stern, who was in the 88, and Travis Van Oostendorp. So say hi, guys.
Hello, how's it going?
I mean, Dylan Bam's got a 13-second lead, so it's going like that.
Yeah, I blew up the car a few times. We wrecked quite a lot. I mean, I'm just not a road course racer, frankly.
Here, I'll share my screen.
Thank you, boss.
See how good it looks.
Here we go. So yeah, how's the race been for you?
It's been decent. There's been no cautions.
I know.
Really, the one thing that's going on right now is Cameron Lopez and AJ Knickel. They pitted early, and I don't know if they can make it on fuel. But I think everyone else should be good.
Yeah, I've heard some. I've heard pretty much everybody was a little close on fuel. That's about it.
Well, we might see some battles between two Monster Energy cars here, Cameron Lopez and Rivers Jones. Cameron Lopez, you got to specifically say you're Euro F1 champion.
Yep, can't forget about that.
Just a fantastic championship from him.
Oh, we got a car around.
It's Luke
The
Allen.
7 car.
It's Luke Allen.
He was in the top 10, but now that allows Brody Falliker to get into the top 10.
Yep. Nice race for.
He's behind Michael Walls. Him and Michael Walls got together earlier in the race. Michael wasn't too happy with him. Actually, both of the cars that got into Michael Walls, both behind him now. Micah had some choice with
showing him who's boss.
As Rivers Jones, he gets around Cameron Lopez for that fourth spot, that fourth spot. We might have a battle for second here soon. Here comes Zach Saunders.
Jerg's been riding.
Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, he said he was also close on fuel, so he might be saving a little bit here.
Dylan Bam probably the only one good on fuel, as he pitted the latest.
Even if he's not good on fuel, he's got a 14-second gap. He can just coast at this point and bring it home.
What a race by
So here
him.
comes Saunders.
Oh,
Wow. A little bit of contact.
Jurg doing a great job here tonight.
Yeah,
He's been top 3 majority of the race, if not all of it.
trying to get that second interview 2 weeks in a row.
Jerg's put in a nice campaign through
You know,
this
his-
season so far. I'm really impressed. Just good finishes after good finishes to start this season. It's pretty good.
Some say he had the best car at Gateway, but unfortunately wasn't able to come away with the win. But he was pretty solid. Oh,
Rivers Jones has crashed, and he was
AJ
just running
Knickel.
fourth. He's back to ninth now.
Big damn.
oh, damage to the rear end too.
I'll go back and take a look, because he was up here in this top 5. There's really nothing else
Oh.
going on.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
A long story.
So he
Wrecked
had,
a few times.
yeah, I'm not really sure what corner number this is, but he spins in it.
And is he gonna... Oh, brother.
Backs it into the wall. He's good there.
Oh.
Tries to get it back going. Here
Looks
comes
like he
AJ
comes
Knickel.
out.
Oh!
Oh no.
man. Surprised we didn't get a yellow for that, but... Was in front of the whole field, but he got it back going.
So he falls
He's gonna
back to
stay on the
ninth.
racetrack.
Yeah, he falls back to ninth. And now he doesn't have a back bumper, which we
Looks
saw.
like AJ.
Yeah, Jimmy Cocker. He
Yeah.
lost his back bumper and he started falling through the field, so we'll see how that 91 does.
AJ got some pretty significant front end damage too, I think. He hit him pretty hard, so we'll see if he keeps falling back. Gets into the clutches of Gabe Gazzola and Michael Walls. Mike had a great rebound for spinning twice in this race.
Yeah, he
He's
did.
in fighting distance of a top 5 still.
He tried qualifying, but crashed in his qualifying lap, so started in the back, and he is our biggest mover tonight, 14 positions gained.
I think if he could get by Gabe, he could probably get all the way to 5th, but Gabe might be holding him up a little bit.
You got Trevor Burns and AJ Knickel, which, if you're holding up Micah for this long, he's going to make a move on you. It doesn't matter who you are.
He has no friends when he gets into a race car. Absolutely none. He'll punt his mother for a win, honestly. For a P7 even.
Yeah. I've been on the receiving end of that many times. Second place, Jerg still holding it.
5 laps to go. 16-second lead for Dylan Bam, who has just put on a master performance tonight.
Seen this many times in other series. Does it a lot in Project Cars. Did it a little bit in Gran Turismo, but he's doing it here tonight. Here in Montreal, he's having a great race.
Looking for his first win this season too. Pretty sure he's a few-time winner in that when we did the next gens.
Yeah, he got a couple wins. He's had a tough go of the season though. He wasn't as good at Gateway as he probably hoped. And
Oh, he was good.
rebounded
Got
and
screwed
really
over
good
a little
here.
bit. He was good. He kind of got screwed over, kind of got wrecked a little bit, hustled around. It'll happen. Today was just the day where he put the race together. Micah Walls has caught AJ Knickle.
Yeah, he got around Gabe Gazzola finally, and trying to catch up to AJ. You got to think maybe AJ. It doesn't look visually, but maybe something's wrong with that 47 car.
I would say definitely on the straightaway.
No, there's
probably
something.
lacking something. You could see.
Micah might try and move into this corner. He's right up to the back bumper.
All these drivers are a minute away from the leader.
Burns has got a nice solid gap over these guys. He's able to pull away once he got by AJ Knickles, so he should have that top 5 locked down. Ooh, Zach Saunders with a move into the chicane.
Makes a move on Jonathan Jurgensmeyer. He gets up to second.
Jerk's gonna fight back.
Slow car, that's Andrew Sanford. He's going to get out of the way.
Job by the lap car there.
Good move by Jerk here.
Francis Hamilton is back out on the racetrack. I don't know if you saw what he did earlier, but he full throttled and flipped
We
over.
saw.
Yeah, we got a good look at that one. Hopefully
He's
he
back down pit
I
road.
got a front row seat for that one. I was right behind it. I looked up and I was very confused what was going on.
Here comes Micah trying
Micah
to get
Walls
AJ.
inside AJ Knickle now.
This is where I theorize where AJ might be struggling is on these straightaways, but we'll see.
We'll see if he falls back
You might
here.
want to look out for contact too. These
Oh,
two,
yeah.
no strangers to each other. They've had their run-ins in the past. Not known to like each
Oh
other
my
either,
goodness.
so
Oh
wouldn't be too
my
shocked.
goodness.
Here he comes underneath. AJ
Huge
trying to
send from
outbrake
Walls.
him, and he's going to lock up.
Oh! Nah.
Forced AJ into a mistake.
Here
there.
comes
Now
Gabe
he's gonna
Gazzola.
take it
Where
side
will
by
he
side.
go?
Gabe Gazzola. Oh my goodness.
He's going to push Micah a little bit of a
He's
bump
just
draft.
gonna push Micah. Oh my god.
Let's just see what AJ does here side by side with Gabe now. Oh!
Oh, he dumps him.
Oh no!
Oh my goodness.
no!
Around goes Gabe Gazzola. He's in the middle of the
And
racetrack.
That was.
He'll get it back going. He won't lose
Certainly
any
something.
positions, but
Oh my goodness.
once again, no strangers to each other. Also not very good friends, AJ and Gabe, so I'm sure there will be words said about that. We'll get a replay here.
Go back and take a look at that.
That was certainly something.
Yeah, Gabe making a move on AJ. Just entering this first corner. We'll see if he comes down on AJ. AJ probably could have. Nope.
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 He just
Nah. Same thing with the chicane. He just outbraked himself, ran into Gabe this time.
And finished him off.
Got more damage to that front end too, so.
If Gabe can get back to him, I don't think 47 car will be on the racetrack anymore.
Definitely be
You gotta catch
interesting.
Not sure if he'll have the opportunity though. About 4 seconds, maybe 5. He's gonna need a little bit of help to get back to him.
There you can see some damage on that 47 left front now.
Zach Saunders passed Jerg cleanly. I think they're still in the battle though.
Yeah, they are.
Jerk's still right with him. He could get him back. About 2.5 laps for him to get a move on him for P2.
As my friend Ben Ritchie would say, there is a clear top 3 in this race. Everybody, these 3, class of their own today.
Definitely.
More.
There is a there's battle for 9th brewing. Luke Allen, Brody Follicker, really close to each other.
Two drivers that have wrecked a few times today. But Brody Falliker, a winner earlier this season at
they-
Bristol.
Using all the curve.
Oh,
The battle for second. Still very close. We'll see if Jerg maybe waits a little bit. My monitor keeps saying Jose and Hunter Young just keep wrecking.
Other Hunter Young back in the pits. Sure. Where Jose is, but back here, Michael Walls. He hasn't really lost AJ Knickle like I think he'd like to, but comfortable enough of a distance to not get moved.
2 laps to go for Dylan Bam. As he just crossed the finish line. Just outstanding lead for this 2. He's going to be doing burnouts when half these drivers are still making their way past the taking the checkered flag.
I've returned from my conversation. Micah Wall's not escaping AJ Knickle. I don't know if Micah's holding him up so Gabe can wreck him, but it would be a Micah Wall's thing to do.
You know, I wouldn't doubt that. That would be.
It would definitely
That'd be
be a
something
Michael
Mike could
Walls
do.
thing to do. But we'll see.
I
AJ
know.
could just move him.
You can see
Here we go.
Gabe
This
is
is
barely on
going
the
to be
screen.
big. This is going to be big.
big.
Shake yeah.
AJ does not send it in.
Yeah, he's going to set him up here in the turn 1 though.
Really wild off that corner.
We've seen him make contact in turn 1 before, so here he comes.
Still gonna hold his ground for right now. Brett Garrett. We have a few battles though where we're gonna have to switch to, but Dylan Bam on the straightaway. Yeah, he's coming to 1 to go.
Just taking it really easy.
Clinic from Dylan.
Of course, like Travis mentioned, he's pretty good at these road courses on other games, so it's no surprise he's out front winning this one today.
1 to go.
White flags out here at Montreal. We'll be taking a look at the battle for second, the battle for with Micah and AJ, which AJ actually got around him.
Wow.
Wonder if
Look,
Micah
he-
made a mistake there.
Lucky a choke job by Michael Walls there.
And we'll see if this battle brews between Brody Falliker and Luke Allen.
Saunders minding the gap with Jurg. Jurg hasn't been able to get around him since he got past.
Very
so
sideways off
see
that
if
corner.
Jurg's just waiting for the best opportunity, maybe the hairpin, to make a dive and take over P2 for the final time.
If they both spin, they can still gather it back up and still keep their positions. That's how far ahead they are.
They could probably spin about 4 times and they'd keep their positions. I'm gonna be honest.
Bam entering those corners.
The hairpin.
Yeah, the hairpin.
Saunders-
No, that was not the hairpin. I thought it was the hairpin, but it was not. Now he's coming out to
Good.
the hairpin.
Now it's
Good.
there. Okay. But yeah, I was wrong too.
Dylan Bam through the hairpin for the final
Oh,
time.
Jurg went off the
Oh,
racetrack.
no.
So that's gonna probably secure
And
second
that'll
for
be all
Zach.
zeroed. Oh, sir, that penalty. Yep.
Classic Jurg.
Second place for
Classic
Jurg.
Jurg.
But onto the straightaway, an absolutely dominating performance for this number 2 machine of Dylan Bam. And his Doing Donuts sponsor will become reality tonight. As he makes his way through the final corner, Dylan Bam's going to pick up his first win of the season here at Montreal.
Yeah, buddy.
So Zach,
Clinic from Dylan Baum.
Zach's going to come home second.
Oh, is he? Oh my gosh. He's trying to wreck
chucking.
it up.
He's having
Trying
a
to
little
wreck-
fun with it.
Jurg will come home third. And Traver Burns, he might try to set up something here on Cameron Lopez.
I don't think he has enough time, unfortunately.
He's going to have to hope for a big mistake for Lopez in this hairpin.
Sent it in there.
Lopez taking it easy, though. There's AJ, Micah, no one else really close to each other.
Except for our 9th place battle going into the hairpin here right now.
Oh, Falliker losing it. He holds on to it. Well, that's going to just give him
Good
10.
save.
Whoa.
Thought we were about to see a little Charlotte Roval
Trevor
recreation.
Burns tried, but couldn't get there. So he'll take 5th, which is a nice comeback for him. Oh. Cameron Lopez is going to give him.
Okay.
So go
Can't say, can't
Burns
say
will
I see
finish.
that every day.
He'll finish 4th. Gabe crosses the line. There
See if
comes
there's going to be any unhappy Gabe Cazzola here after the finish.
Luke Allen for 9th. And Brody Falliker will round out your top 10. Nope, it looks like he's just going to park it.
Oh. He's already here for his interview. Oh.
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 Whoa.
The 97 was a few laps down. Poor Rivers Jones, man. Just
Yeah.
having a good race and
Had a good run
outside
going.
the top 10 now. As Jimmy Cocker will be the final car. Passing the start-finish line on the lead lap. Your winner, I don't know where he's going to do burnouts at, but he's coming on to the into the final corners. Almost just took out that DRS sign.
Just a brilliant drive.
Amazing drive by this number 2. And he's going to burn it down here on the front stretch. Unfortunately, the camera angles kind of stink for that front straightaway, but
This is kind of like when LeBron predicted Kobe's 81-point game. I just knew before we went into this race that Dylan was going to put on a clinic. I just knew.
So yeah, that's enough from Donald Stern. All right.
He's gone. Did you?
All right. Well, thank you for letting us join you, Ryan. I don't know what you're talking about. Thank you for letting us join you, Ryan. We might see you next week.
See ya. All right. Well, third place finisher Jonathan Jurgensmeyer is here already. So, Jurg, you put on. It was a pretty good show from you, and you had second there. Got passed by Zach with about within 5-10 laps to go. Tried to get him there at the end, but unfortunately made a mistake where you went off the course, but still finished third, and back-to-back interviews for you. How do you feel?
I feel like I could have got second, but that whole last run kind of hit fuel number that entire last run, and I think Zach saved all his fuel immediately, but I decided I was gonna do it periodically throughout the entire run, but I feel like I could have held him off there, but got a little distracted by CD slowing down. I think I could have held him off without that.
All right, well, Jurg, I'll have to check out points, but I know you were up there in points with these good finishes. Don't know if you're leading the points, but yeah. Is there anyone you would like to thank before you head out here?
I'll thank my man Justin Rott for all the hard work he puts in.
All right, Jurg, let me check out the schedule here. If I can find the chat, there's so many discords in this or there's so many channels in this Discord. So next week we head to Charlotte for 100 laps. So going back to ovals. So yeah, I'll see you there.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna need somebody to drag Zach Saunders into here. Or I might just have to go to that call myself. So we'll probably just go to the give me 1 second. Alright, so we're just gonna go to streaming more. Alright, since I can't really drag you guys in, I'm just gonna do the interviews here. So we'll start with Zach Saunders, which, Zach, you looked pretty quick there at the start, but just Dylan Bam took control halfway through the race and just ran off with it. Of course, I think you had to save a little bit of fuel there, but still a nice second place finish for you. How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel pretty good, even though I had a couple small mistakes that I shouldn't really have. But no, I didn't really. This first time running on the track, so I really wasn't expecting much. Lo and behold, a second place there at the end. But yeah, no, ran pretty good, and then just been sick for the past week, so the fatigue really started to set in once I had that first mistake, and just tried to minimize after that. And when I had the mistake, it's just started saving a little bit of fuel for that run, and then realized I just was never gonna make it. So I made a mistake on my outlap and just started fuel saving because I knew Jonathan wasn't, and I figured he would just go hard until he needed to really save, and that's where I'd get him at, and that's how I wrote it up anyways, and got him there with just 5 laps to go or so.
Yeah, but you said you didn't really expect much coming into this race, but you were probably the only driver. Yeah, you were the only driver to keep up with Dylan Bam. So yeah, you were definitely the second fastest tonight. And but yeah, is there anyone you would like to thank before you head out here?
Yeah, thanks for signing me to his team there a couple weeks ago. Really appreciate that. after just being on a big hiatus from the league. So appreciate that, and good win to Dylan.
All right, thank you, Zach. Next week is Charlotte, so we'll be back turning left on an oval, and I'll see you there.
Yep.
Now we'll head over to your winner, who put on an absolutely dominating performance tonight, and that is Dylan Bam picking up his first win of the season. Hey, Dylan, how do you feel?
I mean, feels great. Going into tonight, the point situation was grim to say the least. So knew I needed a big result here, and I'm good on these road courses, and yeah, happy to come out with a win, and let's try and keep this good mojo going into next week.
Yeah, of course, it's not really been the greatest season for you so far in these past 4 races, but coming in here, we all knew you were going to be fast, judging by how every other series and every other game, when it comes to these road courses, you're usually up front battling for the win. But yeah, is there anyone you would like to thank before you head out here?
I mean, I want to thank everyone who raced for being clean, not wrecking, at least not wrecking enough to bring out a caution. That would have been very bad if that had happened. But yeah, no, everyone raced really well. For the most part, I'm satisfied with everything. Of course, thank AJ and the guys who make all of this stuff happen. Thank Luis, who watches and cheers me on, and everyone. But yeah, just looking to go and duplicate this next week.
All right, well, next week is Charlotte, like I told Zach, so yeah, I'll see you there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so sorry. So thank you all for coming out here and watching tonight. Well, before we get into our little sponsorship ceremony, we will go over the grid here. So here we go. So Dylan Bam, he wins this race, putting on an absolute clinic. Zach Saunders, Jonathan Jerkesmeyer, second and third. And then everyone else 1 minute behind. Trevor Burns comes on fourth. Cameron Lopez fifth. AJ Knickles sixth. Michael Walls seventh. Your biggest mover today, by the way. Gabe Gazzola eighth. And Luke Allen ninth. And Brody Falliger rounds out your top 10. Rivers Jones 11th. Jimmy Cocker 12th. And that's rounding out your lead lap cars. Andrew Sanford and Ty Hickenbotham both 1 lap down, 13th and 14th. C.D. Mangrum 15th. Duncan Falls 16th. Donald Stern 17th. Jose Mercado 18th. Gabriel Dahari 19th, and Hunter Young rounds out your top 20. Francis Hamilton 21st, Jared Wilson 22nd, Andrew Zepfi 23rd, and Hunter McDivitt, who didn't even start the race, 24th. So as we wrap up today's racing broadcast, we express our gratitude to our sponsors, our dedicated viewers, and everyone involved in making the Auto Racing Connected event possible. Thank you to Dive Bomb Motorsports, ARC's primary partner. Dive Bomb is a collaborative new media project by motorsports fans for motorsports fans. Thank you to SimLeaguePro.com, ARC's league management partner. SimLeague Pro is built for drivers and community managers to create leagues and races that can be enjoyed by all on any platform or game. SimRap Market, of course, the people who sponsor this main national series. To SimRap Market, iRacing's largest marketplace for professional level livery design, templates, custom graphics, designs, number sets, and more for the sim racing community. To IMB Racewear, ARC Sim Racing apparel sponsor. IMB bring sim racing gloves, boots, and more, all truly built from the ground up with the quality and precision you deserve. To the Racing Rats, our Assetto Corsa modding partners putting out high quality free mods and working closely with us to host incredible Assetto Corsa League racing. And finally, to James McAdam Photography and AJ Knickel Designs, our photography and graphic design partners. So from all of us here, it's goodbye for now, goodbye, and see you at the next Auto Racing Connected race. Congrats to Dylan Bam winning this race. Don't forget your Euro F1 champion, Cameron Lopez. And next week is Charlotte, so we're back on ovals. I'll see you guys there.